Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. So I'm a whole minute early. Aren't y'all proud of me? Some lotion. I didn't know that. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Good morning, Miss Rachel. How you doing this morning? Miss Rachel, like for real, I don't think you know you got me on 10,000 over here. I'm ready to flip some houses. I'm so excited about my credit, repairing my hand holding. Miss, what's your sister's name? Shamar. I can't pronounce her name. She has been great and answered all of my ever-loving 1,000 questions. So if I'm telling y'all can sleep on Rachel if you want to. But if you need some help with your credit, you ready to buy that house, you ready to get it all the way together, you need to check out Rachel. Put your link in there so they can go out and check you out. Let me tell you, you got to invest in something sometimes, and that is an investment that will more than pay off. And I promise you it will. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Aunt D. I saw you come on. You gonna say good morning, Rosie?
Good morning.
Rosie's sporting a powder puff this morning. So as we get ready, she's feeling a little bit better. Kim says she hope you feel better, Rosie.
Thank you.
She has a little runny nose, so we're gonna put some lemon on her and hope for the best. But yeah, Rachel, please post your link so people can find you guys. And I think Rachel, even though she's in the state of Florida, she does credit repair for everyone, and also she's moved into the realm of real estate. So if you're ready to buy that house, and let me tell you, I told Rachel I was ready to buy a house. She said, okay, boo, we're going to work with you. You got to invest in yourself sometime. So make sure you do that. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show on yesterday. I did have a show yesterday.
No.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed the show yesterday. Thank you so much for sharing. I don't know if Lynn is coming in. And that's Rachel's telephone number, guys, so you can reach out to her. I promise you, whatever your budget, if you're ready to make it happen, she will make it happen. Here comes my fearless co-host, Ms. Lynn. So y'all please make sure, do me a favor and check out Rachel this morning. If it's nothing other than a telephone call to get more information about her services, you will not be disappointed at all. I promise you. Back there. Good morning.
Hey!
Hi.
Hey, y'all. It's been a minute, so just in case you didn't know, it's the Fearless Morning Show. I'm over here on 10 this morning, y'all. I missed y'all for these couple of days. I've been dealing with some issues and some circumstances. My body just wasn't working with me. It broke me all the way down. Can I just be real for a moment? It broke me all the way down. But I'm back. And I'm better than ever. So y'all about to ready. Hopefully y'all ready to deal with me now. For real. Right? Y'all ready for real? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your train of thought as you were going.
I was saying that you wasn't feeling well, and I hopefully you will be in the show this morning, and then you popped up.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the show in my absence, but now it's time to turn up, right? Nah, not really. Okay. Guys, good morning. Our fearless morning quote. Y'all have to forgive me. I'm on some medication now, so it got me a little bit loopy, a little bit loopier than I used to be. Just a little tiny bit. So we'll see how long this goes. But our quote this morning, guys.
I love you too, Aunt D.
Good morning. Guys, the quote this morning is, don't worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. That's by Jack Canfield. Don't worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try, by Jack Canfield. Good morning, Chiquita. Good to see you guys. And
Good morning.
Very interesting. interesting that you're on here this morning. I need to talk to you about a real estate deal too, child, that we tried to do, and the contract fell through because somebody came back with a cash offer. If y'all need some assistance with your real estate, you need some good information over there, Miss Chiquita Gail Lee Lindsay, y'all see her right there. She can help you get that thing all the way right. But guys, the quote this morning, our Fearless Morning quote is, don't worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. And I thought this was very interesting for the conversation this morning, because oftentimes there are things we tell ourselves, right? There are things, and I know there are things that I tell myself. I told myself for the longest that I want to maintain my weight, right? I said, I want to maintain my weight. But do y'all know that I am not motivated in any shape, form, or fashion to do that, because your girl love to eat. Let's just be real, right? And I tried to go through, and I said, something got to help me, because what I recognize and what I come to realize, guys, you're only motivated for the fun stuff, right? You're only motivated for the stuff, that for me, let me speak about me. I'm motivated to do the stuff that's easy. I'm motivated to do the stuff that's fun. So when I talk about, maintaining my weight, that means I got to lose some pounds. That doesn't motivate me. So I had to start thinking differently about what's actually going to motivate me. And you know what it was that motivated me? Instead of saying I want to maintain my weight, or instead of saying I want to lose 5 pounds, or whatever that case might be, I told myself, you know what, girl, you got to get rid of this extra roll that's on your belly. We weren't made to have that extra roll on the belly, so you got to get rid of that muffin top. See, it's not pretty when that wasn't pretty when I told myself that, right? It's not pretty to have that muffin top, that extra layer over my jeans. So I said, I got to get rid of that. So it's a different type of motivation for me than it was when I just told myself I need to maintain my weight. Do you guys see the difference in that? Do you feel the difference in that? So what I want you to think about is, what are the things that you're telling yourself, and you're telling yourself the pretty truth? But once you change it from that pretty truth of I just want to maintain my weight to the ugly truth of I need to get rid of this muffin top, see, that's how things start to change for you, right? When you start thinking differently. So in looking at this, guys, how to get what you want is really, you got to tell yourself the truth, right? Oh, Lord, Carl said food morning. Yes, it is a food morning. It is. It's a food morning. It's a good morning, too.
She all for that.
All for it. Yes, I am. But I got to do what I got to do, because I got to get rid of the muffin top, right? Because it's not, I just don't like it for me, and it's not healthy. Just let me just be real for myself. So I have to figure out what it is that I want to change in my life, and I have to tell myself that truth. So what is the truth? What's the real truth, the ugly truth that you need to tell yourself is the question that I'm asking today. And that should be in regards to every area of your life, not just talking about your health, your relationships, but with a specific emphasis on your finances. Okay, that's how you really get what it is that you want. So some of the things too that I wanted to bring to the forefront, I was listening to, I think it was Mel Robbins, and she was talking about her success, the 50 keys to success, or something along those lines. And one of the things that she said is that you have to change your decisions. And at some point when you'll feel motivated to do things. And she reiterated the point for herself. She said, why is it that she doesn't feel motivated to do the little things? Because there are little things in our lives that can help us to change, right? A little thing such as doing a budget, watching where your money's coming in, how it's going out, controlling it. That's a little thing. But oftentimes those little things can seem to be big things for us. And what do we tell ourselves in the grand scheme of the thing? Somebody asks you, well, how you doing? You're not going to say, oh, girl, I'm getting all these calls from the bill collectors. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm doing all these things. No, what do we typically say? We say, I'm fine, right? We say, I'm fine. Why? Because we've lied to ourselves and told ourselves that we're fine in the situation. We're fine not having what we want. We're fine not doing what we want to do. We're fine not going where we want to go because we've resolved to be okay in this situation that we're in because we're not willing to tell ourselves the ugly truth.
That's right.
So what is your ugly truth when it comes to your finances? What is your ugly truth when it comes to budgeting, to saving for your retirement, to your investing? What is your ugly truth? Right? And you have to own that thing just like you say you own, right? Your car, your relationships, or whatever it is that you do. See, there's so many different things out there. And JoJo, she owned her ugly truth about her $7,000 Dollar Tree dollar menu extravaganza.
It
I
was.
own my right. We own our ugly truth about our student loan debt, guys. We had over $250,000 in student loan debts, my husband and I. Yeah, over $250,000. That's insane to me. But we had to actually own the truth, actually look at the numbers to actually realize how ugly that picture was for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until we recognized how ugly that story really is that we actually took action on it, decided to come up with a plan that's going to help us to move to our next. So I'm hopeful for the same thing for you today, guys. Ask yourself, what is my truth? And today when somebody says, how you doing? You might verbalize fine to them out loud. But what I need you to verbalize to yourself internally is the truth, right? What? Because everybody else don't want to hear all that mess. Let's be real, right? Everybody else, because then what do they say? Oh, you complaining now, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, you sitting over here now, you complaining about so-and-so and so-and-so. And what they're going to say is, it's Thankful Thursday. You should be thankful for what you have. Yes, you should absolutely be thankful for what you have. Uh-oh, JoJo, what's going on? I can always tell when something's happening to you because you are just so obvious.
Honey, I'm sorry. The way she was backing it up, honey, I thought she was about to take out my left side.
Okay, all right. But guys, we have to recognize and identify what is your ugly truth? What is the ugly truth in your life, in your finances, in your relationships, in your health, in every area of your life? Yeah, and just because I'm the financial rebound coach doesn't mean I don't deal with other areas of our lives, because your money touches every other area of your life. If you don't have money, can you go out and buy those healthier choices in regards to food? Your mind tells you no. Your mind tells you no, we cannot do that. We need to buy the cheap stuff because we need money to be able to continue to pay the bills over here. See, like JoJo talks about all the time, guys, your mind is set up to protect you, right? To protect you from doing those things outside of your norm. And what we need to do now is recognize and tell ourselves the ugly truth. See, we haven't told ourselves the ugly truth because we've gotten comfortable in these behaviors, in these patterns, in our day-to-day, in the minutia. We've gotten comfortable just sitting still and doing, well, let's be real, doing nothing.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
We've become comfortable not doing anything about the situation, just waddling in whatever it is. So dare I say today, guys, ask yourself, tell yourself the ugly truth. And if you don't know what your ugly truth is, take a moment to actually sit down and decide, well, what is it that I really want? What is it that I really want? And don't write it out pretty. Don't say, I want to lose 60 pounds. Say, I got to get rid of my man boobs. Right?
That's right.
Or say something else. Say something different to yourself. Say, I got to get out of this. Saying, I got to get out of this credit card debt is not, that's the pretty lie. Mm-hmm. The ugly lie is, I have a negative net worth of Mike Tyson, $38 million. How do I come out of that? Right? That's the ugly truth. The ugly truth has your number on it. The ugly truth has exactly the thing that you need to work on. My ugly truth, I have a muffin top. And I know it's easy. I could go out there and walk or even jog a little bit, but I'm going to walk. I'm going to walk.
You saw my face when you said run. I was like, being not fixing to do that.
No, you know me very well. But with that said, it only takes a little change in my day-to-day behavior to get me moving in the direction of what it is that I really want. And if I continue to lie to myself and say, it's okay, you only got a little bit of a muffin top, I'll continue to do what I've always done. Right? And why is it, guys, when we have some big event up, like our class reunions coming up, or we're about to get, we're about to get married, or we're, whatever it is that we have, we'll get motivated then. But then that motivation only lasts until the day of that event. After that event is over, we go back to our own ordinary, regular behaviors. Why is it that we do that? I know I'm in somebody's wheelhouse today because I'm in my own. Because I'm always doing these things. And why do we continue to set ourselves up for these things, guys? Because we don't want to tell ourselves the ugly truth. So how do you get what you want? You got to own your truth. And I know you probably say, oh, that's so cliche, but it is the truth. You got to tell yourself the real story. What's the ugly story that you need to move past? My ugly story was not only were we in over $250,000 in debt in student loans, but on top of that, y'all, we were over $500,000 in debt. And you got to think about this. We were on teacher salaries at that time, and we had over $500,000 in debt. How in the heck are you supposed to come out of that if you don't face the truth? If we didn't face the fact that we had to stop doing some of the things that we were doing, right, as far as our spending and our trips, because we were going and we were doing just like everybody else, trying to live somebody else's life on our paycheck. And we did it very well, $500,000 worth of debt well, right?
That's right.
But dare I say today, y'all, all we have left to finish paying off is our mortgage. And that is just so empowering to me, right? And I wish that for everybody else. And y'all, as soon as this mortgage gets paid off, y'all gonna see me do a jig in a everything else, because I'm coming on this live and I'm gonna cut slam out. You hear me? I'm gonna cut all the way out. But how do we get to that point, guys? You have to be intentional. You have to own your ugly truth. So what is the ugly truth that you have to tell yourself today? So when the next time that I come on here and I ask you and I say, how you doing? Don't just say fine. What is it really that you're dealing with that you need to go through? And like I said again, guys, you can tell me that. You can tell JoJo that because we understand, but you can't tell everybody that. So at least start by telling yourself your ugly truth. And if you're ready to have a conversation with me, guys, so I can help you get started in designing what it is that you need to stop doing and start doing, go to bit.ly/talktolyn so we can go ahead and schedule a call to see what is it that you need to do to get to your next. What are the steps that you can now put in place to own your ugly truth? And you don't have to talk to me. You can go out and do that because there's information everywhere. You can Google things that'll help you to own your ugly truth. You can start reading books to help you own your ugly truth. And if you are that person who can do that, then go out there and do that. But dare I say, and do I know, that 70% of people are not going to take action unless they have another force behind them that's going to help them move. See, I can hold up this pen right here, but this pen doesn't move until some outside force acts on it to push it forward. And some of us need an outside force in our lives to push us forward. So we're doing what we need to be doing in our finances. So we're doing what we need to be doing in our relationships. So we're doing what we need to be doing in our health. And that's why I'm offering this opportunity to you. It's a free 15-minute discovery call, bit.ly/talk to Lynn. And for those of you who are ready, you say, Lynn, you know what, girl? I'm on this thing. I'm ready to get started. I need to know how to invest. The Investing Blueprint. We're closing out our August class. The last class is tonight for the August class, but we're also starting up again in September. First Thursday in September at 8 p.m. So bit.ly/investing blueprint, guys, if you want in on that class, because there is no reason for you to continue to tell yourself the lie. They ask you how you doing. Oh, don't just reply fine. How you really doing? Like, what's her name? What she say? How you doing?
Wendy Williams.
Yes, Wendy Williams. How you really doing? Right? So figure that thing out for you. Figure that out for you, and what is it going to take you to get to your next? Because one of the other challenging areas that many of us need to recognize is, what are those blocks that we now have? What are those barriers that are keeping us from moving forward? What are those mental blocks? What are those things that we brought along that were passed along to us from generation to generation? As JoJo shares her story all the time about her fear, right, of getting on the plane, her fear of water, her fear of heights, her fear of coaster, and where those things come from. Some of those things she brought along, they were passed down from her mom because she simply, bought into the idea that was shared with her. So what are those things that you are doing? What are those barriers, those blocks that you have in regards to your money, in regards to your relationships, in regards to your health, that's keeping you positioned in the same place that you are? You feel like, I just can't move. I've been trying to move. I've done everything that I possibly can to move, but it seems like every time I take one step back, I get pushed back 2 steps. Anybody ever been in that situation?
Mm-hmm.
Every time you think you're about to get started, every time you think you got this thing just right, you go forward 1 step and you get pushed back 2 steps. See, I get it. I get it, guys, and I understand. That's why I want to have that conversation with you. There are things deep inside of us that we truly believe, thoughts that guide our beliefs, that sometimes they may not just be right. Just because Mama and them gave it to us doesn't mean that it was always right. So how do we now get past this? Do you plan to hold on to your struggle, or are you ready to let it go?
That's right.
That's the question this morning. Do you plan to hold on to that struggle, or are you ready to release it? And if you're ready to release it, guys, that means we have to do things differently. You have to begin to push past whatever it is, like JoJo said, push past your crazy, right? Push past that. Too noisy?
I think she meant nosy. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, like other people be nosy all in your business.
Well, they might be. Yeah, some people are.
Take that.
Sometimes they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's a true story right there too. Put a pin in that one. We'll save that one for another day, because that's a complete that's a complete broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. So how do you move then? No, she said no noisy. It's noisy.
Oh, my daughter was in her book bag. That's right.
Oh, okay.
You want to say hey, Rosie? The sun is in her eye.
Hi, Rosie. Your hair looks great today too. All right, guys. So where do you want to be financially is the question that I'm asking you today, right? And make sure that you're leveling up. And by leveling up, go ahead and go to bit.ly/talk to Lynn so that I can help you to move to your next. All right, guys. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yeah, I said it, America's #1. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host this morning, Miss JoJo.
All right, guys. Are we so glad to have Lynn back? She was missing in action for what, almost 3 days, 2 days, just 2 days.
Yeah, I was broke down, guys. I was completely broken down. This, and I was finally diagnosed with migraines. And I don't take medication. I don't like to take prescribed medication. I'll take an Advil in a heartbeat, maybe an aspirin. But I just really don't like to take prescribed medications. But I had to break all the way down and go get the medicine that was prescribed for me, because that
Those
pain for
migraines ain't
several
nothing.
days was just no joke. I never had that type of intense pain. Y'all, I was driving to go to a meeting, and I had to stop and pull over in the mall parking lot, let my seat back and lie down, because it had gotten that bad that I was so nauseous. I
Mhm.
could not hardly see. I said, let me pull over, because I am not trying to kill me and anybody else just because I
Mhm.
told somebody I was going to be at a meeting. I quickly texted them and told them I would be late for the meeting. It will be several hours long. I told them I would be late because I'm dealing with something. And that's what I had to do. I had to let my seat back and just lie in my car for nearly an hour,
Mhm.
in a parking lot with strange people going by. And I could imagine the looks on their faces when they said, what is this lady doing in her car? She's sleeping in her car. She in a Cadillac, and she out there sleeping in her car. What's wrong with her finances? I can imagine all the stuff that was going through their minds. She out here sleeping in her car at the mall. I can imagine, y'all. But nonetheless, guys, I had to push past to get through, because the struggle was all the way real. But I'm good today, y'all. Like I said, I don't know what this medication is gonna do to me, but yeah.
You happy now, y'all?
Right, right.
All right, guys. So the fearless thought for today is I want you to trust yourself in this process. A lot of times, and this whole week, I think I've been trying to string the thought process along this whole week. So on this Thankful Thursday, I want you to be thankful that you are making the decision to do something different. Because Tuesday, it's okay if people don't understand where you're going, and for you not to explain your journey. You don't you don't have to do that. And so you got to trust yourself that that feeling that you have that you got to do, like, at least for me, it was an overwhelming feeling that something has got to change, and it has got to change right now. I can't wait another second. I can't wait another day. Something has got to change right now. And I want you to trust that feeling, because it's there for a reason. It's not there for you to keep overlooking it and continue to live in
Right.
crazy. You're getting that thought for a reason. That's your body and your mind trying to tell you, hey, sister, there's something greater out here. And this struggle and strife of crazy that we're in right now is breaking us all the way down, because your body loves habits and it wants to keep you safe, but at the same time keeping you, if it realizes that your bad behavior is keeping you bogged down, it's going to show up in
Mhm.
your body. You're going to be sick somewhere, guaranteed.
Yep.
I can promise you. It's had me laid up in the hospital twice with doctors looking at me like they have body organs shutting down. They have no clue what's wrong with me. Crazy will have you sitting up in there like you are insane. So just trust the process. Trust that what you're thinking that you should be doing, the next best step, or thinking that, yeah, I really need to stop this crazy. I really need to stop
Right.
this crazy relationship. Trust that feeling. It is there for a reason.
For a
And then when
reason.
you trust that feeling,
Yep.
again, don't get caught up in explaining it to other people, because we get all so gung-ho about it and we want to tell everybody about it, and then when you go and tell that person and they are not, and it's no fault of their own, please understand that it's no fault of their own, but they're not, may not be on the same wavelength or thinking the
Right.
same thing that you're doing, or they just may not be there yet. They're not going to understand. You're going to start telling how excited you are, and then you're going to find yourself having to explain, and then you're going to find yourself trying to justify the changes you're making and why you have to make them, and why, and then you find yourself trying to convince other people to make the change that you're making. It is not going to work. And since this is confessions and conversations, let me tell you that you got to trust the process, but the key to this whole process is to be humble. Let me tell you what I did. So y'all know I'm a fan of counseling. I went to counseling after I left my abuser, and I went to counseling a couple of years ago. And I decided I'm not living in crazy anymore. And so we're about a good 3-4 months in, and Lynn, y'all, I'm feeling great about myself. Please understand, JoJo is feeling fantastic about this journey she's on. Oh, I'm not going to be living like this no more. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. And I was so caught up in what I was doing and thinking, oh, my life is going to be so much better, that I'm looking at other people and say, oh, boo, you crazy over there, girl. You need to stop this, and this is what you need to do. And so this is what JoJo did, and this is where I learned how to, you best be humble in this journey. It's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't care, and you explaining it is not going to make it any better. Sometimes you just got to move in silence. You got to trust the process. So what I did after a great session with my counselor, I drafted an email and I sent it to all my friends. And it wasn't just a small email, Lynn. We talking paragraphs. At least, yes. It was like 3 or 4 paragraphs. This is what I'm doing in my life. If you're not about that life, I don't want you to call me. I don't want you to talk to me. We can't even have that conversation. If you call me and you all about the negative and you can't say nothing positive and you not changing your life, we can't be friends. You can't be. When I tell you, maybe 2 people email me back, and you gotta have that one good.
But I didn't get the email, JoJo.
No,
I'm just saying, I didn't get it.
It wasn't for. It was way before I started talking. This was years and years ago, and so I had maybe 2 friends that responded. But you gotta have that one friend that's gonna call and say, "Girl, what the hell wrong with you?"
Right.
And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And when I told my counselor, she said, "Send me what you sent." She was like, "Baby, listen, honey, when you start to do something different, being arrogant about it is not the way to go." I said, "But I wasn't arrogant." I said, "I was so excited that I wanted to let other people know that I was changed." She said, "But the way you came across was so arrogant." And then it hurt my feelings because that wasn't the way I wanted to come across. And then I had one friend who took up for me, who did a mass email to everybody that said, "Our friend is going through something. She's bettering herself. Y'all just be patient with her. But you've got to be humble." Bye. Love you. Have a good day. Be peaceful. You got to be humble with all of that, because if you're not, people who may have tried to learn something from your change, they're not going to learn it because you've been arrogant with what you're doing and what you're saying and how you're saying it. So just be humble with, trust the process, trust yourself that what you're doing is right. You don't have to explain it. It's not for everybody to understand. And just be humble. Don't take it to, oh, I'm better than you. And I finally sent out an apology email that said, I wasn't trying to say I was better than y'all, but I'm just so careful about what was coming into my space that I felt like I needed to shout it to the world, when actuality, I just needed to show it to the world. I didn't need to shout it.
Yes.
I didn't need to do all the extras that I did. So I'm thankful for that. Was Tashana who sent the email, and then who said she just going through something, y'all. Y'all be patient with it. So trust yourself, guys. Trust the process. It's going to be okay. That thought keeps coming up for a reason. You've got to take action on it. And eventually, if you don't take action on that thought, it's going to stop coming up. And then it's going to be, heaven forbid, on your deathbed, when it's going to be the little ding ding reminder. Remember that thought that I kept giving you? And then if you are still living and you're still breathing, it is never too late to make the change that you're seeking. Absolutely never. So just be mindful of that on this Thankful Thursday. Be thankful. Trust the process. Trust yourself that thought that keeps coming up for you to change, to get out of crazy, is never going to go anywhere unless you keep pushing it down. And the more you push it down, the more your body's going to react. to that. And then here's what you're gonna find. You're gonna find yourself getting upset with people who may be doing something similar to what you should have been doing, but you mad at them because they doing it. And if it was you, you'd be doing it this way. You can't get mad at them, boo, because the idea kept coming to you and you chose not to do anything about it. So it is on you for a reason. Trust that thought process. If you don't know the next right step to do, look, pray about it. You know, I'm a fan of that. Pray about it and do some research on it. Even if the next right step is just to do research to find out what you need to do. Action is always going to make you feel better as opposed to inaction and you sitting there with the lump in your stomach and in your throat thinking something different. So, all right, guys, that is it for the Fearless Morning Show. I thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful Thursday. Don't forget to share the video. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel so they can binge watch all our shows. And yesterday, Lynn, I forgot to call you. We were celebrating birthday all day yesterday, but I did manage to load up some videos so you can binge watch all the videos up until I even loaded yesterday's video. So go over to YouTube and catch the videos there. And if you know anybody who's living in crazy, come on over here to the Fearless Morning Show so they can learn how to live past crazy in their life and their finances. Anything else, Lynn, before we go?
Whose birthday did I miss?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Well, I just want to reiterate the quote this morning. Don't worry about failures. Worry about chances you miss when you don't even try. That's by Mr. Jack Canfield. So, guys, thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning. We know your time is your most precious commodity, and you decided to spend it with us, and we appreciate you for that. So continue to join us every morning at 7:15 a.m. for the Fearless Morning Show. Don't forget, guys, if you're ready to get started, go ahead and contact me so I can help you out. There's no reason for you to not be getting what you want unless you plan to continue to lie to yourself. Tell yourself the ugly truth and go out there and get it done. That's how we do it. All right, y'all?
Get rid of that extra chin, honey, because that's what I'm about. Getting rid of these.
Get rid of it.
These extra chickies, because Lynn was all in my business, because I was like, oh, I got the 25 class reunion. I'm about to get it all the way together. And then this camera is not faithful. This camera ain't faithful to you. I was like, oh, what is that up under that? Let me get my whole life together. First of all, forget about a class reunion, because a sister fishing 43, and I've got to get this stuff together. All right, guys. What'd you say, Lynn?
I said get it all the way together, y'all. That's all.
All the way
together. Is America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yeah, I said it, America's #1. We here to help you. And just in case you didn't know, yeah, this is the Fearless Morning Show.
She done got her new jingle, y'all.
Right? It's gonna be turned into a song after a while. So I gotta figure out.
All right, guys. I hope you have a great and amazing Thursday. Don't forget to share the show, and we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a good one.
Signing off.